Hey everybody, I'm Brian Lehue, president of 9Line Aerial Media and 9Line Flight Systems, and today we are taking search and rescue to a whole new level. Let's go. So here's how we're going to do this. We've got 3 dummies that are fully dressed to look like regular people. These dummies are going to get placed in the area that we're going to be flying in. We're going to cover 600 acres in about 37 minutes. And we're going to find these dummies that are dressed as normal people. We're going to hide them. These people could be somebody that has Alzheimer's, that's left their house and wandering around. They could be just wandering around the streets. Other people could be lost in the woods. We're going to do as much as we possibly can to make this as lifelike as possible, to really push the limits of the SAR program that Wingtra's putting out. So this is Betty. Betty is going to simulate being the little kid that walked off and decided to go play on the playground. So we're going to leave her here. Betty, try not to have too much fun while we're gone. Grab the branch, Buck. Can't do everything for you. All right. All right, we got Buck planted. Let me tell you what happened about Buck's accident. Buck was in the tree, branch gave way. He fell down and he can't even move. So don't worry, buddy. We're gonna find you. You'll be in good shape. There you go. Let me see if I can, there we go. Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our final contestant here. This is Bartholomew. And unfortunately, Bartholomew has some memory issues, and he has kind of wandered out of his house and is wandering around town. He has no idea where he's at. He's lost, he's scared, he's panicked. We're going to tuck him up against a building so that way we can really stress test the AI and see how it detects shapes around buildings. Barf!
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Okay. All right, we got him in place. I think this is fantastic because he's really tucked away. We've got these sides of the building hiding. We've got trees above us. And he's also sitting in a different shape. He's not sprawled out and laid out, because every time you're looking for somebody, that doesn't mean that they're sprawled out and laid out and easy to spot. So he's kind of curled up a little bit, and we're gonna see how the AI picks that shape out. All right, so we're here. We finally made it to our launch site. All 3 of our subjects are planted and just waiting to be found. So I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up the ray. And here's the thing I want you to keep in mind. Right now, doing this, I'm a one-man show. So we're gonna run a clock and see how long it takes from getting the Wingtra out of its case, stationed, planted, pre-flighted, and up in the air. And just keep in mind that the more people you have on your team, the faster this is gonna go. So I try and shoot for 7 or 8 minutes. We'll see how it goes. That will never get old. All right, so she's up right now. She's orbiting. We're going to be covering, like I said earlier, about 600 acres with a flight time of roughly 37 minutes. We're going to go up and let it collect its data, and then when it comes down, we're going to start processing the pictures that it took. We'll catch you after that. So right now what you're looking at is the actual flight path that the WingtraRay is taking. It's bucking about a 9.6 mile an hour headwind at altitude, and it's doing 37.8 miles per hour at 351.6 feet. Now, once it turns around and starts heading south, you're gonna see that miles per hour increase significantly. It's gonna boost up to about 50 miles per hour. But again, this is how you cover 600 acres in roughly 37, 38 minutes. And that's the end of the mission. Now we're gonna pull the SD card, we're gonna start plugging it into the SAR website, and we're gonna start finding our subjects. All right, everybody, we are back from being in the field, and everything that I wanna show you, like I said, I'm gonna slow down. All of this would be done in the field, but because this was just a test, we've been able to spread some of this stuff out. So it's the next day, and I'm now getting ready to process this data. That would absolutely, obviously not happen in a real world scenario. I wanna make that explicitly clear, but I'm gonna slow everything down so I can walk you through what you're looking at and why you're looking at it and how it all works, okay? So right here, I've got the SD card that was in the payload of the MAP 61 megapixel camera that we used during the flight. We're gonna take this and we're going to upload this into our flight plan. So I'm gonna wait just a second before I do that. This was our flight plan. As you can see, there are two flight plans that I have. One is the SAR test setup, and we're gonna use that one so that way I can show you what this looks like to process. In an effort to stop this from being a longer video than it needs to be, I've already gone ahead and processed the site so that way we can kind of see the final results. And that's what this second one is, the SAR test complete. So we're gonna go into the SAR test setup. This is Wingtra Cloud. This is something that's going to come with you when you purchase a Wingtra product, whether it's a Gen 2 or a WingtraRay. But this is the lifeblood system that runs your Wingtra drone from flight planning to deliverables. So we click on this test setup, and I'll just show you guys the flight, a little bit of how it looked, the area that we covered. So this was the area that we covered, 601.9 acres. It took 836 pictures, and the flight time was 38 minutes. That's what it ended up being, okay? So we already knew the answers, okay? We already knew that this little black dot, this little black dot, and this little black dot was going to be where we were putting our objects, okay? Doesn't matter because the AI is going to analyze every one of our pictures, and it's going to decide what it deems to be a human or non-human. But I wanted to show you guys this so that way you knew we had one planted. Actually, this is planted over here, and this one is planted right here, and this one is planted right down here. We put these dots just as areas, so that way we could spread it all out and say, all right, once we get to this area, let's find a place to hide this dummy. So these are the areas in which we hit them. So even these dots aren't actually correct. So I wanted to show you that. So where do we go from here? We click on the SAR tab, okay? And we go into our Peru SAR, and then we'll go into this setup one, the one that I have designated for showing you the setup process, okay? I'm going to take my SD card and I'm going to insert that. Now it even gives you the instructions on the folder that it needs in order to start processing this stuff, okay? So we go into the Wingtra Pilot Projects, and if I double click on this, these are the 3 folders that it needs that line up right here, okay? So I can drag this entire folder that has these 3 folders in it right here, and boom. It's going to quickly analyze that, and it's going to let me know, there it is, that it's got 836 images, one JSON file. Let's start processing it, okay? So what is this AI doing? It's going to start processing these images. It's going to start uploading it from the SD card to the cloud, okay, to the Wingtra cloud. This Wingtra cloud has the AI in it. So what's this AI going to be doing, okay? It's going to be looking at two things primarily, okay? Number one, it's trained to look for human figures in various positions. Number two, it's also trained to look at certain things and say, that doesn't look right. I'm gonna flag this and I'm gonna send this to my human and let them decide whether or not it's something of value or not. So what does that example look like, all right? That example means like if you're searching a riverbank, okay, and you have flown the ray up and down the riverbank and you're now looking for, you know, whatever you can possibly find, it may not detect anything. It will look at the picture and it will say, okay, I've got trees here and land, trees here and land with a river going up and down. All right, I'm looking at a river scene. But then I see something blue. So I'm gonna highlight that because I don't know what that is. It stands out and it's different. And I'm gonna send that to my human. Well, it could turn out that the person you're looking for was a little girl who had a blue backpack. And boom, automatically we found a blue backpack, something that didn't belong in that scene that is important. So that right there is a clue. So it doesn't just find people, okay? It's trained for this doesn't look right. Now, again, it is AI, and there's gonna be things that it's gonna find that you're gonna be like, dude, you found a slide. Okay, it thought for a second that depending on how it looked, it was actually a leg or something to that effect. You'll see, it's not perfect, but it truly scans everything. So that way, you are the most informed and you can let your search parties know, you can let everybody else know, and I'm gonna show you how you can let everybody know what you found. It's pretty insane. So these have now been uploading and you can see that we've got 18, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 images so far, okay? 43 is uploaded. So here we go. Of these images, this particular images, the AI found 5 things that it thinks it's worth looking at, okay? 4 things here, 3 things here, et cetera, as it goes down. One of the things I want to take a look at real quick is this confidence level, all right? This confidence level is everything. When you move this to the left, that means that the confidence is high, and that means that the AI is very, very certain that that's a human figure. Like very certain, okay? Or I mean, it's been tricked pretty well. I've seen high confidence flags that were not people, all right? So it happens, but that's what that means. When you lower the confidence a bit to like medium, it picks up more things. Obviously you can see it has 10 things that it found in here, 8 things that stand out, things that are human figures or whatever. So let's take a look and see what it found real quick here. So it found a car. Okay, actually that's Goose's car. It found, that's hilarious. It found our car. There's Goose right there. There's me right there. Again, it was at 350 feet. Let's take a look at some of the other things that it found that it thought this is odd. Okay, here's a Christmas decoration. We were very close to a cemetery. We were on the outskirts of a cemetery. Here is a tree or some sort of probably a Christmas decoration that was laid out. A grave blanket, I think is what they might call it. It found these things that just didn't look right. Here we go. It found this orange item, okay? So it has not found yet this guy, all right? However, I'm not worried about it. It's gonna find Buck. It's still scanning various pictures, okay? So that number is going to change. And I know it's gonna change because I've already processed this and I know that it found Buck, okay? So right now, this confidence is showing that I found 155 items, okay? As you change that confidence level, it gives you 13 items that it's pretty confident. that it found something, okay? Let's look and see what it found. Found something here, okay? That's a waste barrel, but it could very well look like a human standing there with some sort of a hat on, okay? Again, 350 feet, 61 megapixel camera. Let's see what it found over here. What did it find here? Oh, that's a chunk of roadway taken out. However, if you look at this road is completely smooth, but there's something standing out there. That's why it flagged that. Now, you aren't supposed to, you don't have to sit here and go through each one of these. It makes it really easy. You can click on this results tab. Now we're starting to find results, okay? Right here, there's me, okay? There's Goose, we already established that. This is how it finds everything. And I just kind of wanted to show you in real time how this is all working and looking and kind of walking you through the process. I'll show you the finished project. It's pretty unbelievable once it goes through everything. Right now, it's uploaded 63 images of 836. So one of the minor limitations is obviously you're going to need some sort of an internet connection when you are out doing this. But there's enough cell phone Wi-Fi hotspots, there's Starlink, there's a lot of other options that you have in order to do this. I think the trade-off of being able to cover 600 acres in 38 minutes is pretty fantastic. And then, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to go back to our SAR tab because I want to tackle the rest of this with the project that is already finished, okay? So as you can see, this is processing. Now, let me walk you really quick through the workflow because this is important. So, and I forgot to mention this, when the Wingtra comes back and you have that initial SD card, put another SD card in the Wingtra, send it back up in another area to start collecting data while you're uploading this stuff, okay? I did 600 acres because I thought it's a big area. Let's just see what we can pull out of this. But realistically, you would want to probably half that. So you're looking at 15 minutes, 20 minutes, somewhere in there to get probably roughly 400 to 500 pictures for it to start cycling through. That should be enough time for it to start cycling through those photos, and then at the point where the Wingtra lands for the second time, you've got a new SD card full of data that you can continue that processing. You're just going to drag and drop like we did at the start of this, okay? So that's how you quickly get everything going. I would not recommend flying 38 minutes, but I'd like, whatever. When you're actually in that search and rescue environment, so many things going on, so many people. You might have dogs. You have police officers, you have friends and neighbors, so many things going on that are trying to find this person, and at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. But we want to try and get information through this process as fast as possible, okay? So let's look at the completed SAR test, okay? View. What did we find all together? Well, here's our map. And our map has all of these dots right here, okay? This map is where every picture was taken, all right? So every picture was taken, and you can see our flight outline, all right? So we're gonna look at the results, all right? Here are some of the things that it found. It found a chimney, okay? We know that is no good, all right? And now we can see that it's starting to find people, or it found a lot of people, I should say. But what we can do is when we see something that we like, we have two options. We can accept or we can reject, okay? So we reject that. That's a person, that's a person, that's a person. This is something that I want to show you that's really impressive, okay? I spotted this. So this gentleman is here in his garage, okay? This is picture number 698. So what we can do is if we wanted to back out of that picture a little bit and get a better idea of where that scene is at, we can go to search by file name 698, and here is the picture, okay? So we go to images, 698 shows up. This red box shows you where that's at. The AI picked this gentleman out, standing here, out of this entire picture. Pretty impressive. If I was an analyst looking to try and do this, I would look at these, I would look at all these pictures and, oh, there's a roof, it found that. But I would look mainly in the areas where the houses are at, and I'm not lying, I would probably miss this. So I saw that particular picture and I was like, very impressed. You'll also notice that when I have 698 in my search box, nothing else shows up. Results are just what was in picture 698, okay? So if you're like, what happened to all my photos? Where did all that go? Get rid of that, everything comes back, okay? Now, let's take a look at this map, all right? As you can see, the numbers will grow as I move the confidence higher and lower, okay? So like in this area right here, it found 74 things. And as I get closer, it breaks it up. 18 here, 19 here, 29 here. As I get closer, it breaks it up even more until you can start seeing the individual pictures, okay? So I know the answers, and to avoid having this be an hour-and-a-half long video, we're gonna go straight to the answers, okay? So we know Betty was over here, okay? There are 4 pictures in this area. You would have discovered, just in the process of looking through data, you would have discovered this, okay? So it happens much faster than you'd think. So here's Betty, we found her. We can even click on it and zoom in. Sure enough, that's her. So we're going to do one of 2 things. We can star it or we can reject it, all right? We are going to star that because that's important. Now we can look at all of the other ones in the area. Oh, there's Betty again. Sure enough. So we're gonna star that one. And now there's Betty again. We'll star it. We'll star it. And that's no doubt whatsoever. What's this one? Okay, this one is a rock or something like that. So what we do is we reject it. And watch over here, this little green one, the green indicates that that's the picture that I have selected. When I reject it, that goes away, okay? So you can literally inspect everything that the AI has picked out and reject it. If you don't think, it takes it out of the equation, takes it out of the puzzle, takes it out of the clutter, okay? So we reject it, and pretty much it's gotten to the point where this is the area that she's at. All right, now, we can go down and we can find Buck. All right, where is Buck? We know Buck is around in here somewhere. That's not him. That's not him. That's not him. Buck, where'd you go? I know you're here somewhere, buddy. There we go, we found Buck. All right, there he is. So we are going to star him. We are going to star that one. Okay, and we are going to star that one. Now, you may say, well, yeah, that's pretty easy, dude. He's laid out, he's got a big white sign on the front of him. That's pretty easy to pick out. It's true, but if you think about it, if a hunter is out and gets injured or something like that, they'll be wearing camouflage, but they'll also probably be wearing, or should be wearing, bright orange reflective gear, okay? So they should be pretty easy to spot, even in the woods with AI, okay? So I wanted to make that point out there as well. So we found Buck, and now we are going to find, where are you at? I gotta get my bearings here. Gotta get my bearings. Here's a good baseball diamond. Here we go, right here. So we know that he was in this corner here. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. When I ran this filter, I ran it a little bit higher, just to get all of these examples for you. I forgot when I moved that I didn't put it back to where it originally was. So this got one picture of of the last one. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a day. I forgot his name. Bobby? Billy? Bobby?
Your name,
I think.
Mark.
Anyways,
Your full name.
it found Bobby. And so we are going to select that picture and we are going to star it, okay? It also found in the area a basketball hoop. We'll reject that. We'll clean up the area. Reject that, reject that, reject this. Once it's starred, it doesn't go away, okay? So now we have found the 3 people that we want. Realistically, what did this look like as far as time goes? There was a 38-minute flight, and then we stopped the clock. If we were in an actual SAR scenario, the time it would take to process all of this was probably 25 minutes, somewhere in there, to start getting all of these things. This is a wide area. Plus it's urban. So it's going through, I mean, the processing was very, very, very strenuous on the west side of this map because, again, it's a city, it's a town, it's picking up garbage cans, it's picking up basketball hoops, it's picking up, the people, whatever, all sorts of stuff. Search and rescue sometimes can be very wooded areas. So it's gonna process much faster because there's not as much in the woods going on that is going to trick the AI. But there are people that, again, our Alzheimer's example, he wandered out of his house and could be anywhere in the city, still able to pick him up. So what do we do now? We found him. This is great. Not only do we have access to where we found him on the map because we were going through the results, and that's your primary thing. You can either reject or accept it. Reject or accept it. And that really helps start filtering things down, okay? So now we can go to export. Now this is the coolest thing you're ever going to see, all right? This is what makes this fantastic. We want to get a shareable link, all right? It's going to generate a link of all the things that I have starred, okay? I'm going to scan this QR code, and that QR code is going to take me to this web address. And look at this. When you scan the QR code and you go to this web address, copy and paste the web address and send it to everybody who's searching for these people, okay? We found 3 people in an hour and a half, all right, in 600 acres. Now we're letting the search crews know, hey, we've either found a book bag or we found the person or we found something of interest. I want you, if you're in this area, can you check this out? So this is what they get, all right? We click on here, they tap on it on their phone, they can open this in Google Maps, and Google Maps will show them directly where that picture is, where the location is of the person in that picture. So I'll show you again, we'll go down here. All right, click on that, open in Google Maps. That's where the Google Map pin was dropped, which is literally right there. Super cool, because if you've got people in this entire area searching for somebody or something, and you are able to push your clues directly to Google Maps where they can walk directly to where that picture is at, it's huge. So that is the biggest point. That is the biggest push. Now, that link is active. Let's say we go back and we find more results, or more, whatever it is. You're looking for more results. You're scanning through, trying to find anything else that might be a clue somewhere, okay? If you star that, and then we go back to export, it's going to give you a new link that not only has everything else that you already pushed to everybody, it's going to have that new thing that you just tagged. So I'll show you, we'll copy it here and we will paste it here. So now it's got all those things and boom, here's that new picture of that thing that I found. You can look at the picture, see what it is. Let's open it in Google Maps. Boom, tells you exactly where it's at. So that's how this works, and that's what that does. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about, all right? First and foremost, I am not a SAR expert, okay? I'm a drone pilot, but I'm looking at software and a drone that I own and a drone company that has put so much time and effort into this that it's unbelievable. If you are a search and rescue person, you might be looking at this saying, dude, you're using this whole system wrong. I would use this totally different. That's awesome. That's the point of this. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what I want to see. I'm just trying to show you that this tool exists that might be an additional tool in your toolbox, okay? This drone, the WingtraRay, whether you're familiar with it or not, is a vertical takeoff drone. It starts at ground level and it goes straight up, and then it basically turns into a small airplane. That's what allows it to cover so much ground so quickly and efficiently. Efficiency is huge. But as it's flying, it does not stop and hover, okay? Which means that this is not a quadcopter versus vertical takeoff thing, okay? I can't stress this enough. At the end of the day, this is about saving a life, okay? Or lives, period. This tool could be used to cover a great large area, and then you can notify your team, hey, take your quadcopters, take your thermals, take your whatever it is out and look in this area. I'm gonna send you the Google Map pin right now, okay? That's going to, it's a team effort. It's not a Wingtra versus DJI versus whoever else versus anything. Again, I can't stress it enough. It's another tool, okay? Another thing that a lot of people ask, does it have thermal? It doesn't, okay? It does not have thermal. This particular program was built hand in hand with the Civil Air Patrol, which their primary function is to do nothing but search and rescue, okay? Well, I shouldn't say nothing but, they do a lot, but search and rescue is their primary mission. It was built for the Civil Air Patrol and hand in hand with many, many, many professional SAR organizations, okay? So there's some things that are included in here, there's some things that aren't included in here. Thermal is not included, and I'm about to tell you why, okay? Because this aircraft flies constantly straight and gathers data and information, and then it gets analyzed by AI, if it's using thermal, it's going to pick up every dog, cat, person, coyote, snake, everything that gives off a heat signature of any type, it's gonna pick it up. So what's your map gonna look like? As if these results aren't enough, instead of having 138 here, if you had thermal, you would probably have 2,000 potential results that the AI would have flagged. That is not efficient at all, okay? So that is one of the main questions that happens all the time. So bottom line, what we're looking at is another tool for your tool belt, a way to find people, use this in and amongst the techniques that you already have. And again, at the end of the day, it's all about saving a life. So if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me, Brian at ninelineflightsystems.com. I will gladly walk you through this. I will gladly help you understand this. And the Wingtra team has been fantastic at not only building a product that works unbelievably well, but it truly makes an impact on the world. So thank you so much for watching. Take care.